Just arrived in Chicago, Illinois, Alex Eala is there to sign a $30 million contract with Gatorade. Take a moment to consider that. Additionally, there is a very particular set of people who are currently experiencing something very uncomfortable, even though that news is becoming viral on the internet. The people who spent years telling everyone who would listen that Alex Eala didn't belong at the highest level of professional tennis were the haters and doubters. They were the ones who muttered that she would never succeed and that she was just another gifted athlete who would falter before becoming the best in her field. All of those individuals are currently watching this news event from the comfort of their own homes. And they are feeling the regret like a freight train. Eala is inking $30 million contracts with one of the world's most recognizable sports brands because she didn't just make it. The best thing about all of this is that it's just the start of what might turn out to be a very remarkable career. The corporation Gatorade doesn't just give out $30 million contract to anybody. Because their endorsement athletes are more than just faces on a bottle, they are very picky about who represents their brand. They are emblems of excellence, tenacity, and the kind of resolve that motivates millions of people worldwide. It signifies something significant when Gatorade shows up with that much cash. It indicates that they have examined Alex Eala and concluded that she is definitely worth the entire cost. They have examined her career path, assessed her market value, and extensively examined the number and fervor of her global fan base. In all honesty, it is difficult to disagree with that conclusion given everything she has accomplished, both on and off the court. According to reports, the 2-year agreement will make Eala the face of Gatorade in the WTA. This is the amazing aspect of this shift that many people aren't discussing enough. With this offer, Gatorade is purchasing more than just a tennis player. They are purchasing access to a market and a region that have been longing for this kind of representation. There is currently nothing else in the WTA that Alex Eala can provide. She is the only player from East Asia to compete at the highest level of women's professional tennis. Every time she takes the court, she is carrying the aspirations and expectations of millions of fans throughout Southeast Asia, including the Philippines. In terms of financial opportunities and brand expansion, Gatorade is fully aware of what that entails. There is a ton of potential here. And Gatorade is in a great position to take advantage of every single part of it. The market for sports beverages is currently estimated to be worth $17 billion, and by 2034, it is expected to have grown by more than $2 billion. Brands that move quickly and associate themselves with the appropriate faces will dominate this massive market, which is just waiting to be fully seized. Because Alex Eala is the ideal link between the game of tennis and a sizable unexplored consumer base throughout Southeast Asia, Gatorade has made a very astute commercial choice here. She is more than just an athlete. Every significant company in the world is beginning to take her status as a cultural phenomenon extremely seriously. The figures support it. It is supported by her fan base and the financial outcomes of each campaign in which she has participated. Gatorade took decisive action after seeing all of that data, and they are now going to greatly benefit from that audacious and progressive choice. Furthermore, the announcement hasn't even been made officially yet. According to reports, Gatorade intends to make the major announcement during the BNP Paribas Open the following month. What do you think that moment will look like? The energy in that arena, the spotlight, and the cameras. Then came the news that one of the most prominent sports beverage brands in the world now features one of tennis's most intriguing up-and-coming stars as its face. When that day comes, the supporters will go completely insane. The detractors are already frantically attempting to think of their next line of attack. And keep in mind that the formal announcement hasn't even been made yet. We will all be watching in real time as the breakdown from the skeptics occurs, and it will be quite amazing to behold when that time eventually arrives. Anyone who has ever counted Eala out is going to have a terrible day. And to be completely honest, they caused it themselves by initially underestimating her. However, here is something about Alex Eala that those critics have never grasped. She never played merely to get awards. From the start, she was constructing an empire, win by win, deal by deal, and brick by brick. Eala was quietly stacking deal after deal while some were attempting to brush her off and critics were looking for every excuse to rule her out. She was taking actions that would ensure her legacy and financial stability for many years to come. Although the Gatorade contract is significant and historic, it is not the only significant economic decision she has made recently. Eala's signing of a huge contract with Nutra Asia earlier this year demonstrated the depth of her business acumen. She secured a 2% equity stake in the business rather than accepting a simple cash payment, as most athletes would. You can learn all you need to know about her approach to her work and future from that one choice. Nutri-Asia is today worth $240 million, which is about 50% more than it was just a year ago. Her equity ownership is therefore already valued at millions of dollars. Her own wealth also naturally increases as Nutri-Asia grows and expands. This is not the action of someone who merely wants to profit rapidly from their notoriety. This is the action of someone who is planning 10, 15, or 20 steps ahead and creating the kind of wealth for future generations that will endure long after her playing days are done. Additionally, just 4 months ago, the NutriFactor advertising went viral on the internet. With almost 70 million views, that advertisement rose to the top of YouTube's most watched ads. An commercial was viewed by 70 million people. Not a music video, not a trailer for a big budget film, but an Alex Eala commercial. When you consider that figure carefully and contrast it with the amount of money most marketers spend attempting to reach that kind of audience, it becomes quite unfathomable. Most businesses strive to create a reach of 70 million sets of eyes on a single piece of branded content, which costs hundreds of millions of dollars. And Eala did it with almost ease just by being herself and relating to her audience in a genuine way. As soon as they saw those statistics coming in, brands from all over the world began calling because it is just not feasible to ignore those kinds of numbers. Nike has apparently convinced the entire firm that Eala is the future of tennis in the Asian market after closely monitoring everything that has happened around her, regardless of how large her company is already. According to reports, Nike has been making a lot of effort to get her signature, largely because they don't want to experience the same level of agony as when they lost Coco Golf to New Balance. Nike has never forgotten that endorsement error, which was among the most expensive in the company's recent history. Nike saw all of that tremendous value go straight out the door as golf became into one of the most marketable sports in the entire sport. They are definitely not going to make the same error with Alex Eala. Nike was not going to stand by while rivals made their approach, especially since New Balance and Adidas were also allegedly circling her quite aggressively. Eala's buzz is just too strong, too loud, and too consistent for any major brand to ignore. The figures being floated for the possible Nike agreement are astounding. $45 million over 3 years, according to sources, with extra bonuses and performance incentives that might raise the overall amount even further. However, the job that Eala is being touted for within the Nike brand family may be more important than the actual money. It would be impossible to imagine this as a typical endorsement deal. This is the result of persistently working, persevering, believing, and disproving others day after day. The benefits eventually come, regardless of what the naysayers say, and for someone like Alex Eala, they do so in the most spectacular way possible. She has mastered her craft and established a reputation that truly goes beyond the sport. She has established herself as a generational talent and established strong connections with admirers all around the world. The day for complete reckoning has come for everyone who chuckled, questioned, attempted to stop her, and said that she would never get this far. The $30 million Gatorade agreement is genuine. It's a real landing in Chicago. Alex Eala is the center of a very real kingdom. And the only thing that is more certain than her ongoing ascent is that everyone who has made the error of placing a wager against her is now overcome with sorrow.